For me, morning, I know that. Parrots. You asking me what's going on? What time, Alevi? Where is it? Good. Is it? Oh, good. Yeah, this video on the Ashikoya, Altila, Luis and Ashikoya. It's a nice plan that will reproduce it. All the streets. Öffnen, it's morgen. So maybe me. We're live, but only go. We're at 4.5 to oh, what are you doing here? I go, well, sit down there. We're at 4.5 to 5 feet. Oh, all right. It's late. What are you doing? All right. So, we got most of the on. Yeah. It's Monday night. Yeah. Huh? بركة وادنا إلى أن نفعلهم في عافية بالورد. Do that one, all very, you know, the sun, is it, you know, it's full of dry. Clear. Actually. It's good. It didn't work out, but it's work. That's what's actually less. What you say was what it is. Saying help. He's talking. Oh, later, right? A month. Oh, these others, yeah. Warren cards now. Now you expect it. Very helpful. Yeah, I'll send it to you. I just had a little. Okay, well, later. Right over here. Oh, yeah. Thanks. Oh, yeah. Well, it's hot. Because good morning. Good morning. As you know, your brief is going to visit the Karastir Rebbe. Yes. I have a Karastir Rebbe story. It's a fast story. Okay. Okay, good. Wash for a bagel. Good morning. Moshe, good morning. People are dabbling today in the fusion. We were in Tiger Shop. Some people down my speed. What's right? Sorry, morning. Yeah, I met someone at the top. Thank you. But I wonder if you get my name on any kind of combinations. How the little job? Good morning. Good morning. And two institutions should be open that emergency product. That's right. It's built to you. Morning.
Oh, that's to make a change. Here's something. Huh? No problem. No problem. No problem. I love you. Call me back later. Okay. Someone asked the Shaila, good morning, good morning. It's the unbelievable beginning of the month of Kodesh Iyar. Kodesh Iyar, it starts the Avodas Hashem really of Sfira in a way. And Nisan, we're still on a cloud, we're not saying Tachanun. Friday was really the first day saying Tachanun. But some people don't say Tachanun on Fridays. So today, the Chuli Alma is the first day of saying Tachanun. So that today is the day that we feel that we have to do, saying Tachanun is not a punishment. Saying Tachanun is an opportunity. That there's certain days that we're on clouds. We're in the clouds, so it's not Nageya. But there are days where we have the opportunity to expunge things that are Surah made out and to cleanse ourselves. So Baruch Hashem, today we're starting in earnest the avodah of Avram, Yitzchak, Yaakov, Rachel, before the Ragle Merkava, and Hasheni Hashem Reifecha.
Mashiach comes. Will we still take Tachanun?
Probably yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So someone asked me a question about doing a business, which is having. There's a lot of apartment buildings all over the city of New York. And a lot of the buildings have a policy that you cannot have a washing machine and dryer in your apartment. I lived in such a building for 9 years. And the way to do laundry is that you go to the basement and there's a washing machine and dryer. The waterfall building they have in the basement, or
Yes. They made a laundry room.
they made a laundry room. So they also have their laundry room.
Yeah, on the
So-
machine.
So it's a business. And basically, the way the business works is that the owner of the building basically splits the profit with the person that puts in the machines. So the person that owns the building provides the room, and then the person that owns the machines, he has to have his workers install the machines. He has to troubleshoot if there's any problems to come and fix it. He comes Mizman Lizman, he collects the money, and he collects the money. He splits the profit with the owner of the building. So the shaila was, is he allowed to do it? There is the problem is that in Shabbos, a lot of people do their laundry in Shabbos. Exactly the same thing. And most people do their laundry on weekends. So it's not like that's taka the way it is. That most people do their laundry on weekends. So the shaila is if he's allowed to go into this business. We had a similar shaila to this that we dealt with a few years ago. That I was asked by someone who runs a very, very big business, Baruch Hashem, and very matzliach, and they have online sales. And the question was if they're allowed to do the online sales of Shabbos. It's a similar shaila. It's a similar shaila. Even though the lumdus might be the same, my heart is noited to be machmir on one and makel on the other, and I'll explain at the end why. But mainly, I want to focus on the shaila at hand because that's our thing on Sunday mornings. Not to talk about theoretical shilas that could be, but about the specific shilas that are. In other words, the shilas, I don't make up shilas that I ask on Sunday mornings. This is just the way it is. So there's other machines. There's vending machines that people, a lot of Yidden are into this business also, vending machines. It's a similar shilah. But no one asked me right now the shilah about vending machines. Someone asked me this specific shilah. He wants to go into business with a partner to bring washing machine and dryers to buildings. Let's first read the Gemara, the Shulchan Aruch, the Alter Rebbe Shulchan Aruch, and then we'll understand what the question is. The Gemara says, "Ton Rabbanon layasker adam kelev lagoy be'erev Shabbos." Here, out of the skila. The Gemara says, "Ton Rabbanon layasker adam kelev lagoy be'erev Shabbos." He's not allowed to give out a skirus. Is a rental on Friday. The Vipa Chamishi, Wednesday, Thursday is mutter. So the Rishonim have a machloikis. What's going on? What's the Braisa talking about? Some Rishonim say that the Rambam and the Rifit seem to hold that we're talking according to Beis Shammai. Beis Shammai says that a person is chayev and shvitzes kelev b'Shabbos. not only the shirt and the chamoyer, but also his kalim have to be Shabbos and Shabbos. Why on Wednesdays, Thursdays different? You have to understand why Wednesday and Thursday is different. The Tosfos and most of the all those that follow sort of the Bala Tosfos, they all know that this really goes according to Beis Hillel as well. And the reason why Erev Shabbos is also is a special Gzeida on Erev Shabbos. What's that special Gzeida? Is Bemis Machlokes Rabbeinu Yoin on the Tosfos. The Tosfos says is because it looks like he's taking Schar Shabbos. Rabbeinu Yoin says no. It's only a keli if it's a keli that you're doing a malacha on Shabbos, like a car. It's like a big problem for a Jew who has a car rental place. There are Yidden that have car rentals. A very big problem. So, and when you rent a car, even if you're giving a rental for a week, it's almost a but you're giving a rental for a week. But it's your dua that if the owner of the rental company had the koyach to turn off the car on Shabbos, that the customer would pay less. And this is davar borur v'yadua. You can't deny that. So if you're giving it to him Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, if you're giving him something, it's like a few things are coming in together. It's clear that he would have paid less for the rental if Shabbos he can't use it. And you're giving it to him on Friday. So when he's doing the malach on Shabbos, it looks like he's your shliach. That's a gzeida derabanan. It's an interesting gzeida, but that's the gzeida.
How about to fix the car? You give him Friday, you know he's working.
That's the difference. That's why. When you're giving him to fix the car, the kabbalonos is there's not.
You can tell him don't work on it.
You don't have to tell him. You don't have to tell him anything. You don't have to tell him. You're allowed to. Why? Because over there's no special gzeida. Over here, there's a special gzeida because the guy doesn't get paid. If you're giving the guy a car to fix, it's the kabbalonos. It makes no difference if he fixes it on Friday or on Sunday or on Shabbos. No, the profit is not more. But over here, the Yid is getting a bigger profit by letting him use the car all 6 days of the week. And since he gave it to him on Friday, Chachamim decided to make a gzeida. That means you start asking questions like a lot of the gzeidas that's similar to what the Rambam says, like Rabbi Muktzah. Some of the gzeidas Chazal say, what the Torah says, Shvitza, the Torah said they want Yidden to rest on Shabbos. There's like the Chelkes Yaakov, Rabbi Yaakov Bereich, I spoke about him several times. He was a Rav in Germany and then he was a Rav in Switzerland. A lot of the contemporary Shilas go to the Chelkes Yaakov. I'm saying, if you look at the Igris Moshe, the Minchas Yitzchak, Shevet HaLevi, I would put the Chelkes Yaakov in that line. A lot of the Shilas today go back. He was Faket. He was from the older batch of Poiskim that dealt already with contemporary Shilas. He has a tshuva about a vending machine. He says, it's interesting. He says, what's going to happen? He says, soon you have to. This is a tshuva is written in the 60s. In that time, people didn't it was hard to visualize how machines are going to. Today we understand the PC, the computer, the phone. There's wonderful things you could do. There were in people's minds at that time. It was like everything was about robots. Everything was about robots. It's very hard to visualize what's going to be in 50 years. And them in their mind, machines are developed. Everything is going to be about robots. It's like Walt Disney's first, the carousel that he built for the World Fair in 1957. It was all like, the picture. What's a house going to look like in the future? But no one imagined that it's really going to be in the PC, in the phone, but the robots. So the Chelkes Yaakov said the Yid is sitting in his house. He's singing Zmidas.
Where does Chelkes Yaakov live?
He in Zidich. When?
Yeah, what century are you talking about?
He was a Rav in Offenbach, I think, from 1910 till 1940. And 1939, the Nazis came into his house and they beat him up, Kahoigen, and he realized that it's time to escape. And then he was Niskabel as a Rav of Adas Yireim in Tziddik. And he was a Rav in Tziddik. I think he passed away in 1970. So, Rabbi Yaakov Bereich, as I said, he's Mamish. I think today all contemporary Shilas go to probably 6 or 7 Gdolei Yisrael, or maybe 10. He's one of them. So he says, could you imagine So Yid is going to sit in his house. He's going to see. It's just beautiful the way he writes in his tshuva. Yid is sitting in his house with his family, and they're singing Zemiris and Shabbos. And here he has a store. He has a store on the on Main Street in the DOS, and everyone knows it's a Jewish store, and everything clap. The robots are doing everything. The customers are coming in, and the robots are doing everything. Who is Leman Yanuach? Bottle the whole Shabbos is bottle. The whole Shabbos is bottle. So even though we don't have the koyach to make zaydas, Chachamim made zayda. The third reason the Chazal that the Rambam writes about muktzah is that they were scared that they'll bottle the whole thing of Laman Yanuch. They wanted there should be a shvisa hanikeres b'Shabbos. We don't have the koyach to make such zaydas, but still inappropriate. As a zilus of Shabbos. The truth is the world didn't exactly develop that way, or as of now, it's not that way. That the robots are not manning grocery stores. But really, where the shaila is today is that a lot of business is done online. So taka the shaila could be a zilus of the Shabbos. A person has a store and he sells couches, and after the weekend, let's sales that goes on. Says, oh, it's the Shabbos that so okay. Let me. So now I just painted the picture about zilus of the Shabbos. I just want to go back. It's a disrespectful to Shabbos. Zilzul, yeah. Shulchan Aruch writes, "Mutar lahashal lahaske kelev legoy afilu shvois b'malachim b'Shabbos b'nei she'enon mitzufin l'shvitzas kelev." That's the first opinion. And he brings up the stam. It means that he's more noted to that opinion. The kelim shoysim malachik kagam achreisha kayotzema also lahasker legoy be'er Shabbos or hey mutar lahasker b'mat shelo yitl skar Shabbos el b'aloch kagam shasker lechodesh shelo shavua lahashal lo mutar afilu be'er Shabbos. The Agor says v'chinik kitzvor achinoino. So the Ashkenazim are machmed. The Sfaradim are makel about this. The Alter Rebbe Shulchan Aruch says, "Mutar lahashel kelim laskirim legoy. Raf v'shanoch reis v'malach b'Shabbos. Neshon einam mitzuv m'shvitzas hakelim shalonu shelo yasam anochrim malach b'Shabbos." There's no mitzvah of shvitzas kelim, so that's not a problem. Oy she'lo tasam malach b'Shabbos me'ela. Olinya haske dove shapar farhesia ein semeresh from Gimel, that anything which has the Jewish name on it, and people will say, then there might be a shad that they had sechir yoim working, then it's also when he takes the schar, it should be ba'avloa. He's not going to take shai Shabbos. The Gemara says the Gemara says in Bava Metzia, Seiches Apoel Lishmeres Apore Lishmeres Atina Lishmeres Azroim Ein Noisen Lo Ischar Shabbos. It's Halacha. Shemishim Vav. Gemara even Ksuva says that a woman that is her husband is moided alishtoi. He's not doing his mitzvah with his wife, so it's a terrible pain for the woman. Even just the fact that he tells her that he's not going to be doing the mitzvah of oina. It's so they're moisif to her ksuva every day, every single day. The Gemara says besides Shabbos. Why? Because we're giving a set amount for every day, and it looks like schar Shabbos. She's doing business in Shabbos. So there has to even when it's mutter to do with a goy, it has to be that the schar Shabbos is bavlo. It's not for the day; it's for the week. We're going to hiskal l'shavua l'chodesh yokol little schar after schar Shabbos move l'boy. אבל ניסקלוי ליומם נפרדם על כל יום ויום כך וכך לא יתול מן השכר מגיע ליום השבס כמו שנבוא בסומנש מגיע מים שם. ואפילו ניסקלוי ישראל כלם שאין עשם מלאך הכלל אפילו ניסקלוי חדר לא דרבוי לא יתול שכר שבס אלא בבלוע. שכר שבס always must be בבלוע. יש אמרים שכלם שעשם מלאך כגון לחיים במוקם שמות לעסקי לגוי כמו שנבוא בסומנש מגיע מלאחרי שקיוצא במשור כלי אומנס also laskidim legoy be'erev Shabbos kivin sheyesh revach lisro v'masha kelim neskorim legoy gam b'yom Shabbos ki yedu av shemeskirim loy l'shavua l'chodesh imay maske lechutz m'Shabbos shelo yera shel asam b'maloch gam b'Shabbos ha'anochi hoiches le'maat meskiris shenoisen. If it's a type of rental that if the Jew told him you're not allowed to work in Shabbos, like I said before, if he rents him a car for a week and the Jew has the power to turn off the motor for the 24 hours of Shabbos, it's a dova yudua that the rental would have been for a lesser price. Is he gets more money for it. the Ashkenazim are machmir, like Rabbeinu Yoina, that even though there's no shvisas kelim, my servants have to rest on Shabbos. My washing machine, my dryer, my car doesn't have to rest. So theoretically, my Tesla could drive on Shabbos. But if I'm going to rent it out to a goy on a Friday, even though the Schar Shabbos is Bavlo, I gave it to him rental for a week, it looks like he's my shliach, and therefore on a Friday it's awesome. So now, when we're talking about giving
if he's driving in an area where there are no Jews, no from Jews, would that make a difference?
No, it still belongs to the Jew.
no,
Because we talked
no,
about
Lagabi
that
this
first.
didn't. No, that's what he said.
We're talking about building houses in an area where there's no Jews there, where no one will suspect
Right.
that
If you're giving it to him on Wednesday and Thursday, it has to be in a way that it's not going to be that Shem Nishral Nikrala. So if it's on a Wednesday and a Thursday, there's the regular rules that, for example, in a place where people give a field beschirus. So because everyone knows the Jewish field, even though you gave it to the Goy Barisus, you gave it to him for a year, but people don't know that. And because it's within a Tchum Shabbos, it's also, that's all about Wednesday and Thursday. If you gave him a field that everyone in this town does Barisus, everyone gives it to the Goy for the whole year, and everyone knows that the Goy is not my worker, then it's mutter. That's a separate thing. Here we're talking about you're giving him a car. It's not written that this is Alan Shachatovitz's car. No one knows whose car it is. No one knows. So therefore, that's not the issue. The only issue is that if you gave it to him on Friday, Chachamim made a gzeira, because this is the type of thing where it's that you're getting Schar Shabbos, even though you're getting it Bavlo. If you gave it to him on Friday, awesome. That's it. So obviously, if the Shem Yisrael Nikar Olav, it would be also even on Wednesday. Over here, it was not Shem Yisrael Nikar Olav. You're giving him a car rental, or he's using your machine. Your name is not written on it. How would a person know that it's Jewish? Still, it's awesome.
What Rabbi said now is that if it's even if you get it in Friday morning,
Yes.
because I know with a mechanic, I remember hearing that you can give a mechanic a car that's not a guy's mechanic. That's going to work Shabbos.
But I'm talking about the opposite case. I'm talking about the opposite case. You're giving to the goy a rental.
Giving it to the guy.
Yeah.
Rabbi, the Syrian community, there are
Yeah.
a lot of stores in Manhattan.
Yeah.
And Shabbos is the most busy day, all the tourists. So this is what I heard. They're giving it to the manager and the worker. They're going, all the money that's coming from Shabbat, they're going to pay them from that day. And it's okay. They're all doing it.
We're not in the sugi right now. It's usually, as a rule of thumb, it's only okay if it's not known to be a Jewish store. So a brick and mortar,
Just over,
not true.
or they without Yama.
Nah, very hard to say that they don't know. If it's a brick and mortar store, everyone knows who owns it.
Rabbi saying that, you're trying to understand that Thursday to give it to, you rent it to the guy.
On Thursday, it's fine. Friday is not good.
Not good every Shabbos.
So now Shilas,
So then you could be driving at Shabbos, and that's
No
okay,
problem.
because
No
you gave
problem.
it him on Thursday.
because I gave it to him on
You know,
Thursday.
it's in the paper, he's going to have it till
Right.
Friday or Monday.
Yes,
Probably.
yes, yes.
Anyway, I think the side point, I think if I remember correctly, Rabbi spoke about somebody had an oil drilling business,
Yes,
right?
right, right,
Also involving Shabbos.
right. That was a different Shiloh.
That was
On the hours, the difference of
But it also came out in Shabbos.
right. Okay.
No matter what the hours were.
Right. Let's talk about this Shiloh now. So when we have a washing machine that's being delivered, obviously it would be also to do it on Friday. The question is like this: the guy delivers the washing machine to the basement on Thursday. But how do you look at this? How do you look at the washing machine? The guy that's doing the wash, did he get from you the machine on Thursday when it was delivered in the basement? Or
Does he pay for it or it's free?
he pays for it. He puts in 4 quarters or 6 quarters or 8 quarters.
They don't have quarters. They have cards.
They have cards.
Yes, you have to buy it.
Zabazach. So he's putting in the money on the card, and he's putting the card onto the thing on Shabbos. So and
Other than Nafshi, he does it for his own benefit. Although you benefit.
I'm asking a question. Wait a minute.
Yeah.
Let me finish the question.
Sorry.
You cannot understand the question if you don't hear it. So the question is, I delivered the machine on Thursday. So one way of looking at it is that I gave it to the guy on Thursday. Okay. So there's not a shaila. Now the other way of looking at it is I didn't give it into the hands of the guy, the washing machine on Thursday. He comes down the elevator with the bucket full of dirty laundry. Now he wants to wash it. So he puts in his pocket, his hand in his pocket. He takes 4 quarters and puts it inside, bing, bing, and he puts in the wash. Or he goes, takes his credit card and he fills up his card and he puts the card at the machine and bing, bing, and now he puts in. So one way of looking at it is I gave him right now the schus to use. I gave him a rental right now on Shabbos. So Madach on Friday it's also Kolshkin on Shabbos it's also. Second problem that I might have here is that I'm doing Mekach Memke on Shabbos plus I'm getting Schar Shabbos Shaloi Bavlo. So there's 3 strikes over here. There's 3 strikes here. We'll talk about other strikes. I'm talking about the immediate thing that I'm seeing here.
Repeat strikes.
Strike 1 is that I'm giving the guy right now when he puts in the 4 quarters. I'm giving him a rental. I'm allowing him to use my washing machine. So Madach on Friday, it's also for me to give him a washing machine. Kolshkin on Shabbos, it's also for me to give him the washing machine. Number 2, I'm doing Mekach Memker on Shabbos. I'm doing business on Shabbos.
Well, you're not getting the money till Rosh Shabbos,
right?
Does that make a difference?
So we'll talk about it in a second. And then the third question is that I'm getting Schar Shabbos Shaloi Bavlo. I'm not the schar. I'm getting money for Shabbos, even if it wasn't a malacha. If I was babysitting, if I was a babysitter, I'm babysitting in the Shabbos every Shabbos morning from 9 to 10. I'm a babysitter. I'm not allowed to get paid for it. Only Bavlo. If you had the babysitter comes on Friday, Shabbos, Sunday, so she gets paid. The babysitter gets paid.
Waiter, the same thing.
The waiter, same thing. But the problem is that this guy is not giving it bavla. So there is a tshuva the Minchas Yitzchak where he says that the person should make a tanai that that the money that fell into the box, he's not coined. He's not coined this money, and he's only going to be coined this money on Motzei Shabbos. And then it'll be bavla with the other quarters from Wednesday, Thursday, or Friday. I'm wondering, according to this, if there was a robbery, and should he tell the police, listen, that's not really my money. I wasn't trying to, even though
I don't think so.
no. So that's the it's a kunz. It's a kunz. So okay, look. So I'd say like this. A few things. Number one, it's hard to imagine that's considered that the Chazal said it's exated because you gave the goy the rental on a Friday. True that the goy has the right to start using the machine on Shabbos. It's exated that abonin. You could easily be makel for someone that wants to go into business and say, listen, as long as I delivered it on Wednesday, Thursday, that's the main thing is the delivery of the machines. Okay. I'm putting this on balance, but you could be makel if a person wants to go into the business. Now let's get to the other shilas. There's a tshuva from Rabbi Yonasan Shteif. Rabbi Yonasan Shteif was a very kosher Rav in Budapest, and then he was a Rav in Mount Kisco. He was for the Yirei Mecharedim. He was sort of like the poisek for Yiredim Charedim, sort of Ashkenazim.
My brother did it with his parents.
Oh yeah, very nice. Oh, very kosher. So Rabbi Yonasan Shteif was very, very. He was like that transition. He was that poisek that was like transition. He was recognized as a very kosher poisek even before the war. So there's a truth from Rabbi Yonasan Shteif about washing machines.
What's
so
the safer?
Shoot Rabbi Yonasan Shteif.
Oh, okay.
Simon Vov. So he writes. They asked the Mashayla in Budapest. Taka Yid had a laundry mat, and business weekend is the business. He didn't want to close the shop on Shabbos because that's when people are coming. He had a few problems with it. Number one, he said it's Mekach Memker and Shchar Shabbos Shaloi Bavlo. Number two, he said that it's Maritz Ayin. Everyone knows that this store belongs to a Yid. Anything you do in Shabbos, as soon as there's a Jewish name on it, this. So there's Maris Ayin. You could argue on that a little bit. You could say that everyone knows that the laundry is done. It is done through the goyim, but the truth is, a lot of laundromats, Ada Yemazen could be, but then was the same thing. That even though a lot of people are doing their own laundry and they're putting in the quarters, but the owner of the laundromat also has his workers that are taking laundry and they're charging 59 cents a pound for hulu, and they're doing so. Person that sees that there's a Jewish shop that has washing machines and it's working on Shabbos, and part of the business is that my workers are also taking laundry and putting them in. So that's number two. He says there's a modest sign. The third thing is he says it's Messiah L'De'ovid Aveda. What's if a Jew comes and does some laundry there on Shabbos? So the later posts come to talk about this. And let me go through very quickly. Number one, about modest ayin. True, if a Jew has a laundromat, a cleaner's a laundromat, and they'll be open on Shabbos, it's clearly a modest ayin. That would be awesome. Here we're talking about that the Jew is bringing the washing machine and dryer into the basement of a building. Who knows? There's no shame yisrael on the washing machine and the dryer. There's no shame yisrael here. Even if the Jew owns the building, but everyone knows that there's an outside company bringing the washing machine and dryer. I would say that this shaila is more kuladik than the shaila I spoke about a few years ago, which is when you're doing sales online. Lamashal B&H make unbelievable kiddush Hashem.
Even online.
And there's some people, what some people do that they write that the sales are not legally binding. Some of them write till Saturday night. Some write all sales are not binding for 24 hours. So therefore the goy chapnish what's going on. It's like a legal thing that we're not responsible for any sales and for 24 hours. So in the worst scenario case, the Friday night a goy put in the sale is not. There was no chalois. There was no memker on Shabbos. But there's still. Why is B&H doing this thing? They're making a big kiddush Hashem. They don't want to rely on it. Everyone knows.
Enough money.
Maybe because of that. Because they're keeping Shabbos and that's good. So they're making a kiddush Hashem. Why they're not relying on the kula? Because everyone could find out. You're saying about the stores that the Jews own. No one knows that. They make with the manager a deal. Today's the public knowledge is so. Everything is so public. Every goy could easily know. What do you mean that there's no shame yisrael? No. B&H, but we have some partnership. B&H belongs to Jew, so that's why they're closing their website in Shabbos. And they're making a big kiddush Hashem by doing so. Washing machine and dryers, they come down. Even though if a person went online, it's very hard to track who owns the washing machine and dryers. There's a number if the machine breaks. So Julio picks up the phone, not the Jew picks up the phone. Julio, in building Azoy and Azoy, the washing machine is broken. Okay, don't worry, we're going to dispatch a worker to fix
You have
it.
a designated person answering the phone on Shabbos.
I'm not talking about Shabbos. I'm talking about Monday.
That would be
So Julio answers on Monday, and Julio says, don't worry. So the guy says, Julio, I just want to ask you a question. Who owns this company? He's going to hang up the phone. It's sein that Julio doesn't even know who owns the company. But if Julio knows who owns the company, it's an So the truth is today, if you do research, if you get the CIA involved, you'll find out. It's not called Shem Yisrael Nikra. No, there's no Shem Yisrael on the washing machine and dryer. The people that are usually doing this business are not putting a sticker, because who are they advertising to? The people that are living in the building, when they're going to own a building of their own, they should go to this company. They're not putting a sticker on the washing machine and dryer saying, "Hear ye, we're the company that provides the washing machine and dryers." They're just putting a number. So if it breaks, Julio is going to take care of it. So there's no Shem Yisrael Nikra here. And the strongest way, even today in the information age, that's why I said before that I'm not a little to be machmer for online sales when the store is really owned by a Jew, be'emes owned by a Jew, and he's just looking for a loophole and saying, I'm making a partnership with a goy. But here, the only way to, otherwise, the shaila is, could he go into this business or not? There's no way to say, there's no option to do what B&H does. to close the website. The answer to the shaila is, can I go into the business or can I not?
You cannot put on your website.
You could, but you cannot deliver washing machines to a building and say, I'm only delivering these washing machine and dryers with a condition that the door to the washer and dryer room gets locked for the 24 hours of Shabbos.
What I was thinking about being anxious, that there's also the issue of them putting a mixture among the Jews who are going to use the machine.
That's true. That's true. That's true. And that's why all the coolest in the world, you're right. All the coolest in the world doesn't add up. And therefore they're doing the right thing by closing their website.
Oh, they do. That's what
they do. Yeah. They close their website. You go on, you can't order, you can't do anything. The website is down on Shabbos. It's unbelievable. Kiddush Hashem.
I heard you could order.
You can't order anything. No, nothing. Everything is down. Shabbos is down. Other Jewish companies do this. They don't want to rely on this kula. The whole website is down. You can't do anything on Shabbos. But I'm saying, this guy who's asking me a shaila, could he go into the business? If I'm telling him there's a problem, so what's the answer? The answer is you can't go into this business. There's no option to say you'll make a big kiddush Hashem. You lock the door to the laundry room for the 24 hours of Shabbos to make a moedidika kiddush Hashem.
No, if you want to do the right thing,
you can't do it.
No, you can do it in the building, in the palm building.
You cannot do it.
Why?
First of all,
No, most of the people in the palm building are from and religious.
If it's a apartment building, that's from. Find me how many buildings have most of the.
Most of the buildings.
Okay,
but
you can't make a business from your building.
No, I work in my building.
Renting out the machines to the buildings.
Oh, so the emphasis is this is an extra thing. You could do that. If the owner of the building is a goy, that you could do. You can bring him in as a shutef and give him the schar Shabbos. The problem here is everyone here involved in the business. Most of the buildings are owned by Yidden, and most of these companies, it's a very Jewish business. Everyone here is a Yid. So the only thing you could bring in is a worker. The problem is that sometimes, so if Taka, it's a worker that his salary is la'erech, the money that's coming in on a Shabbos.
I don't know.
Exactly. So that's okay. So I want to go through quickly a few more points. There's a problem of Mekach Memcha and Schar Shabbos Shaloi Bavloa. So there is a famous discussion about this. There's a tshuva Rabbi Akiva Eiger. So before I get to Rabbi Akiva Eiger, I have to say, just your heart tells you that this is not really a serious thing of Mekach Memcha b'Shabbos. Why? Because why did Chacham say it's also the Mekach Memcha and Shabbos? It was scared the person is going to start writing. Start doing business, before you know it, people pull out a pen and paper and they start writing things. When things are so automated and the Yid is so far removed, so mehechi say that the Gzeida is here. But you can say, listen, once Chazal made Gzeida, they made Gzeida. Okay, so that's not the slam dunk. But there's a famous Tshuva Rabbi Akiva Eiger. He brings a story from the Trumas Hadeshin. Trumas Hadeshin said, what happens if a kid's Pidyon HaBen is on Shabbos? We push it off for Sunday. So Trumas Hadeshin asked, why do you have to push it off to Sunday? Why don't you give the Kohen the money on Friday and tell him that he doesn't own it, the chalois of the kinyan of the money, the 5 sloim is only in Shabbos. And then you did the mitzvah bismana and everything is good. So Trumas Hadeshin answers that tak is a good idea. But there's a problem. Chazal say that when you make a pidyon haben, you should make a big seuda. And you should make a bracha and a seuda. So what are you going to do? You're going to make a bracha and a seuda. How can you make a bracha? Right now, you're not giving anything to the kohen. It's like a chuchot lula.
Wait, if it's
You're going to make a big
on Shabbos, then
right,
halachically it should. Its effect on Shabbos have the sod on Shabbos.
So now, but when you're making a bracha, the bracha has to be over lasiyasin. The Trumas Hadeshin for some reason couldn't get his head around it. He said, if you just wanted to give the kohen the 5 sloim shebechal and Shabbos, but now you're going to want to make a seuda and make a bracha. I don't see it. Doesn't jive. It doesn't do it. So you know what? I used to point even though it's a mitzvah deraisa to do it on day 31, but I used the Gemara Chazal also said that you should do it with the suda v'chulu v'chulu. So you should push it off the sun, and that's the point. That's what we pass, and that's what we do. So the Rabbi Akiva Eiger says, "Hey, wait a minute. Why couldn't the Trumas Hadeshin say that it's be'emes osur? You cannot allow to do mekach u'memke b'Shabbos. What do you mean? You're giving the kohen 5 slime on Friday. You're telling him a joke that it's gonna chalois of the kinyan will be on Shabbos. How could you do that? How can you do that?
It's a mitzvah. Who says it's
So
mekach
Rabbi Akiva Eiger holds it's no. That's mekach umemke. The reason why the Chazal never told you this trick is because it's taka also. What do you mean you gave him the money on Friday? You told him it's chal on Shabbos. Well, a poil it's mekach umemke b'Shabbos. You did a transaction on Shabbos. So we see from the Rabbi Akiva Eiger that Rabbi Akiva Eiger is not impressed with the lumdus of the Terumas Hadeshen, and with the Rabbi Akiva Eiger would probably not be impressed with my lumdus too. I'm saying, when did Chazal say you're not allowed to do business? Me and you, we're talking about we're going to sell a car, we're going to sell a machine. Before you know, we're going to pull out a pad and start writing things. But everything is automated. Over there, there's no Gzeida. This is automated. That's what the Rebbe Kiva is saying. That why can't you make a pidyon ben on Shabbos? Make it automated, old-fashioned automated. You give it to him on Friday, and you tell him the robot is going to make the chalois of the kinyan on the Shabbos. Why they got it from the robot?
What would be if you made the bracha on Friday and said that it will not take effect until Shabbos?
Tumas Hadeshen has a problem for everything you're going to say. It's a long tshuva, but the bottom line is that we see that from the crux of the issue between the Tumas Hadeshen and Rabbi Akiva Eiger is, could you have an automated chalois kinyan happening on Shabbos? There's a little bit of a wiggle room going out of this a little bit, but the bottom line is it's a gzeida derabbanan. And if again, this person is asking me a shayla l'mais, Rabbi, can I go into the business or not? So if it's chazat treif, you can't tell it. The Rabbi, it's delicious. The Faro pizza is very good. They close it down every few weeks because of rats, and therefore the tam and the pizzas are more. No one knows the secret ingredient. I'm telling you, Rabbi, but it's a treif. It's a treif is treif. What can I tell you? You can't eat it. But here, Yid is asking if he can go into a business. So it is a shayla derabbanan, that there is a Terumas Hadeshen here, that the Terumas Hadeshen says that if it's a remote transaction, it's not. And for the same lumdus, you could say it's Sah Shabbos, that the Sah Shabbos is here b'avloa. Because I'm having in mind, if my mind works, so for the same price that my mind is working, that I'm saying the kinyan is not chal b'Shabbos, I can have my mind is working to say that that I'm not similar to what the Minchas Yitzchak is saying, that I'm not. The truth is there is a little bit of havloa here, because the bottom line is I have to open the box. When I open the box, the money is in there. Taka, the goy gave it, but when I'm receiving it, I don't know. It doesn't say on the quarter, this is a Shabbos quarter, this is a Friday quarter, this is a Thursday quarter. When I open the box and I take out the money, it's all ba'avloa. Or when I open up the credit card, and everything today is automated. The bottom line is I can't, to me it's all one thing.
He puts up a sign, please don't use on Saturday. I mean, some people not.
This is what it means. It's chuchet lula.
We had a whole
I think it's a chuchet lula.
And that goes into the elevator, pushes the elevator button. It's my building, so that's why the streets is scale. Because it's doing it for himself. So here he wants the machine to work. I don't want him to use it on Shabbos.
But you benefited.
I
You
don't benefit. I
benefit from the
benefit
money.
going up the elevator too. You would have rent the apartment. You could have used the elevator.
You don't benefit if the elevator gets used or not, but by
You
the
do, 'cause
money
he's
you
not going to rent the
benefit.
apartment on 30th floor if he doesn't have an elevator.
I don't think the owner of the building will allow such signs to go up.
Oh.
I don't think so.
What about that?
The emphasis is like this: if it's a Jewish building, maybe Taka is going to help. There's another shaila here, which is if Jews live in the building, you could be Messiah de Oiver Aveda. If there's religious Jews, obviously they're not going to go down to in your building. It's not a problem. But if it is a mix, and some of the people in the building are not Jewish, so there's a problem. The thing is, there's a tshuva in the Ksav Sofer that says the Sayel the Oiver Aveda is when you're giving it in his hand. If you put it there and the Oiver Aveda comes there 5 hours later, and you didn't put it in his hand, that's not called the Sayel the Oiver Aveda. Again, not everyone might agree to this kula, but all these questions, it all is
Moshe, do you have decision?
no. I couldn't find the other thing is about Schar Shabbos. About Schar Shabbos, there is a famous Noida Behuda that talks about women going to the mikveh on Shabbos, and every good mikveh they charge the women for going to the mikveh. It didn't start today and yesterday. The woman comes to the mikveh. Nebuch, a man pays $3 to get to the mikveh. A woman has to pay $30 for the mikveh.
They also have a mikveh lady who's checking.
Similar to
And
a haircut,
expensive.
among other things.
Exactly. So the question was asked in Noid Yehuda that so the women would go to the mikveh, they'd prepay, pay afterwards, whatever it is. In Prague, the women went to the mikveh on Shabbos.
They demanded the pay.
And they demanded the pay. So they asked the Noid Yehuda, is it mutter? So he said it's mutter. Why? He said the guy that's working in the mikveh, how does he heat up the mikveh? Abracadabra do? No, he goes to the marketplace and he buys chopped wood. Now, he heats up the water and he puts the water in the buckets in the mikveh. This wood is not schar Shabbos. That is wood he bought on Wednesday. Now, true, he's charging the women whatever their money, crowns over there, Czechoslovakian crowns. He's charging every woman to tovel the mikveh 10 crowns. So 9 crowns is for his tirche and for the towels and things that are on Shabbos, for the fact that he has to open the door and his wife is the mikveh lady, whatever. But one of the crowns is for the wood. So
Privately owned back then? It was privately
even if it wasn't privately owned, what's the difference? But he paid for the wood.
It's like the show selling Elias and Shabbos.
Oh, so no, but Weiss's Kubi was privately owned. That's why he didn't. Yeah. So he says that it's Schar Shabbos Bavlo because you're paying for the wood and also for the tirche of the misses that it's coming to the mikveh. So bottom line is also in our case, there is a water bill. Most building today, water is on a meter. So you are paying for the water. So the water is a commodity. It's a thing. True, the amount of water in the washing machine is maybe if they pay for the wash the $2, the amount of water is maybe 10 cents. But what's the difference? The water is water. The water is water, and the owner of the building has to pay for the water. So now the rest of the money could be considered schar Shabbos ba'avloah.
But the owner of the machine, he's not paying all of it.
He's doing it shutvis with the owner of the building. So I want to summarize. The shaila here is if a person could bring washing machine and dryers into this is a business. I want to be makel over here because to be machmir is meaning to say that he can't go into the business. There is one more kula that I'm going to say in a minute, but I just want to review the thing. There is an issue of delivering a machine to a guy on Friday. For sure, he's not allowed to have his workers deliver machines on Friday. That's hands down also, unless he's a Sfardi. If he's Ashkenazi, and he is, it's also to deliver those machines on Friday. The question is, if he delivers them on the other days of the week, if it's still mutter.
Can't service them on Friday. Can't do nothing on Friday.
You could service them, I would say, but you can't deliver it. You can't make a delivery on Friday. Servicing, it's a good shaila, actually. I didn't think it through. Delivery for sure also.
Servicing maybe wouldn't possibly be a problem because then that's the way the machine's going to work.
That's what he's asking. That's what he's asking. I don't know. So now, if he's delivering it on the other days of the week, we're down to the shaila like this: Mekachol Memker, Schar Shabbos. First we're down to the shaila. Maybe it's considered like you're giving him this machine on Shabbos. So again, you have to be makel and say because I delivered it on Thursday, I didn't give it to him on Shabbos. I gave it to him on Thursday. Then there is so that's question number 1. Question number 2 is it mekach memker? You'd say no because it's automated. It's not mekach memker. 3 is it schar Shabbos? No, it's bahavloah because there's a commodity. There's water here. So the other money that he's paying is ba'avloah with the water. Then there's the question of that it look marisayin that a Jew is running his business in Shabbos. There's no marisayin. There's no store. No one. It's very hard. It's less than a website even. And the final question is there misayel de oivre aveda? So the truth is, if the building is a lot of Jews that are not religious, it's a problem. It's a problem. You could be makel and say that, like the Ksaf Sofer, that if I'm not putting it in his hand, he could be makel. The only I want to say like this, one more thing a person could do. If he has a goyish worker, it depends how big the operation is. If the operation is small enough that the salary of one of the workers is about what you bring in as a profit for Shabbos, we could consider making a shtar with the goy, and that he owns the company on the day of Shabbos, and all the money that comes in is going to go to him, and Hayois Le'erech, that's his salary, so that's fine. But I'm not sure how could be the volume has to be in order for this business to work. The volume has to be so high that the Schar Shabbos is 10 times the salary of the goy. Now you're just making a joke out of the whole thing. But if Takazai that the operation is not so big, and Julio's salary is le'erech, the money you're making on Shabbos, so then you could safely make a contract with him before you go into the business, and you could make it in Lashon Kodesh, and don't give him a copy, and Shalom Al Yisrael, and then Takazoi, you can rest.
Any worse than other days besides Shabbos?
Yeah. I want to quickly say this:
What's inside of there? What's
helping a person that wants to Aveda.
I'm saying, what's the heter with somebody that's not religious?
You're not giving it in his hand. You put the machine down there, and he came 5 hours later.
So that would be the same tariff you can get for elevators.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
Another thing.
Yeah.
If we have that by other
Right. Same thing.
Buildings that have people that are not from and going.
Right. Someone called me up this week. So the woman is upset. Her husband's listening to Goyish music. Okay. I said, look, he shouldn't put on the radio when you're in the car. That's versteht. If a person eats Cholav Yisrael, you don't put a chocolate bar in her hand. That's Cholav Vakum. But the woman said, no. But I want to know be'etzem is could my husband listen to it or not? So I said be'etzem is like this. The truth is, there's a big discussion about this.
Are we talking about the style of the music, or
let me explain, and I'll explain. You'll know. There is music. There is music that there's a srach of avodah zarah. Why? Because a lot of classical music were made l'koved avodah zarah. There is music that is a srach of gilei arayos. It's divrei agovim. The lyrics of the song are things that are also for you to listen. There is songs that is a srach of Koilisha. Say Koilisha maybe is only live, but look, Zilbos time, whatever. Then there is music. You have to be. You can't be machmir. It's very easy to be machmir for everyone and say I'm a big tzaddik. That's not on the sign for me. It's for him. So to be a big machmir is very easy. There are people that like certain music, and there is no avodah zarah. There's no gilei arayos. There's no koilisha. Maybe there's a bands from the 60s that had a problem with they had a problem with society. Maybe some of the issues they had were not wrong. They had issues. Their issues is nothing to do with avodah zarah, gilei arayos, shvichas damim. They're not trying to convince you to do any of these three. They have agendas, but it's nothing to do with avodah zarah, gilei arayos, shvichas damim. Or classical music also that has nothing to do with avodah zarah, gilei arayos, shvichas damim. So the truth is, it's very hard to say clearly that it's awesome. There is a ma'aser, the ma'aser keach, and the Rambam his tefillah talks about listening to goyish music, which is saying that's if a person wants to be like a goy. He doesn't want to be like a goy. He just wants to drive in the car and he wants to distract himself, or he's working late at night and he wants to distract himself. He's listening to music. There is an inyan of midas chasidus. I have to say there is an inyan of midas chasidus that I was reading once many years ago an interview with a famous Hasidic singer, and they asked him, "How come you're pirating Goyish songs?" So he said, "The Alter Rebbe made Napoleon's March into a Jewish song, and Rabbi Yitzchak Isaac of Kollel made a famous song." And so I also do that.
And more recently, a Jewish singer, not more recently, that in that time, Jewish singer had to use a song, the beginning of the song from the Beatles, I believe.
Okay, that's not
I
one.
don't know if he did or I'm not springing on him because it could be you haven't made the composer.
Right.
Just look at a music video.
So the answer is like this:
that's
the Siddur believes that the Alter Rebbe says in Tanya that what's the problem of Chochmas Agoyim? Chochmas, unless a person is learning it like the Rambam and the Ramban, it's metamtem even more than anything else. It's metamtem b'chochma shebenefesh. So if a person is learning it like the Rambam and the Ramban, or even less than the Rambam and Ramban, but he's learning it l'avodas Hashem, in order to have a parnasa. That's fine. Otherwise, it's mitamtem. It brings a timtum into his brain. Holshkem v'kalvachoyim, music which touches more than just the brain; it touches the soul itself. So, song, the composer, the soul of the composer is in his song, and so like this big tzaddikim. The Rebbe
took the French national anthem and made it one of the most academic nigunim. I mean, that's
Which one?
for that you have to be the Lubavitcher Rebbe.
Which
Oh,
one?
That's
yeah,
the Rebbe says.
but that's
The French national anthem.
Yeah.
It is. The Rebbe said.
Very hard to the song. I'm saying.
The Rebbe said, Nasicha, this was famous. The Rebbe said that the Yidden turned this song into a Jewish song, and the Sar of the 70 Ummas, the Sar that shaykh to France, realized that the Jews took it, and he couldn't hold on to it anymore. So it was that week that in France they passed a law to change a few things of the. And the Rebbe explained that the Gashmis that happened, they don't know why they changed the Saad. Lamaila realized that he can't hold on to this niggin
That's
anymore.
definitely a riot.
So
There's something to utilize.
LMI. Oh, yeah. So the Alter Rebbe says in Tanya, I think it's a Perik Chavzayin says that sometimes you have machshavas doris in the middle of davening. Big tzaddikim, they right away analyze where did this machshavas come from, and they try to pick up the sparks of kedusha. The Alter Rebbe says, for you and me, we shouldn't be aliyah shoyte ba'Allah's whatever, because those are for big tzaddikim that they know that they're pure, and these machshavas came from somewhere else. It has to be that there's sparks of kedusha to elevate. The Alter Rebbe says, for me and you shouldn't be a shoyte to start trying to think. Just be masiyach das from the bad thoughts and just think about kedusha, and that's it. Same thing here. It says v'chochma is beridu. There's a special chochma to make birudim. That says the Zoya. So the word tzaddikim that they were able to see, the Rebbe saw in the French anthem, the Alter Rebbe saw in the Napoleon song, the Rebbe saw that there's a song, there was this gangster, his name is Shamil. We sing it in Beis Menachem Mendel every Shabbos almost. Yeah, 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 yeah. The Rebbe taught us the niggin. Ah, yeah, 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 yeah. He was a gangster. He was a killer, and his name was Shamil. So he was in Russia, and he had territory of those in Mongolia. He was the ruler of Mongolia, and the Russians kept mastadazim at them. So they tricked him and they told him they're making a truce with him. And when he came, they handcuffed him and they put him in jail. And then he composed a song in jail, and in the jail he composed a song that the remembering the good old days where he had the rulership over Mongolia, and the Tsars were terrified of him. That was the good days, and now is the bad days. And then he had the end. There's like a happiness, like one day my men are gonna come and they'll may set me free. The Rebbe told the story 5 o'clock in the morning. He said some chastoyde Tavshin Yutes, and he taught the song to the Yerlim. This is one of the today in Lubavitch. So who made the song? He was a gangster. He was a ritzeach. And the good old days was when he could kill people, and now he's in jail. The people he killed was people that deserved to get killed. But Shine. So say the Rebbe saw that this niggin had netzutzas kedusha, but for me and you to take to steal a song from the Beatles and to reinlhaken in a few words and Yiddish words, it didn't change. The nefesh of the goy is still here. So mitzad. So I want to summarize. Al pidin, there is only a problem if there's a problem of avodah zorah gilarais shvichas dam in the song. And there could be a lot of music that way. It's also.
I felt that was a sewer for a totally different reason, because it's unlike classical music, the very style of the music of rock, it arouses emotions of lisanut and even gilui arayot.
I hear. That's what I'm saying. There could be music that's a sracha of the zorah gilarais shvichas dam. But there is music that's not that way. Can't say it's awesome. But there is a midas chasidus. But if you're already working with midas chasidus, so if a Jewish artist is pirating songs and he's adding Jewish words, That's not going to help. Why? Because again, we find that Gedolei Yisrael did so. But how could you bring a raya and say that I'm like those Gedolei Yisrael?
So it's an exception, it's not the rule.
Yeah. I want to finish off. A woman asked me this week, how do you keep the kids at the Shabbos table? I'd say it's a very simple answer. The first thing is never make an issue of it. Don't make an issue of it. Why do you have to make rules? Who says that every kid, if you have a grueling long Suda, yeah, a guest, it's very nice, it's 3 hours. Who says the kids have to sit for the whole Suda? Why is it such an issue that the kids have to sit for the Suda? And the real answer is it has to be fun enough. If the conversation, if the Dvar Toiras are fun enough, if the stories that Sepuri Tzadikim are fun enough, if the Negina is deep enough, Geschmack enough, good enough, then the kids will like to be there. And what happens if the kids drift off when the Orchim start talking either Narishkeiten or Tifa Divrei Torah, and the kids drift off and they're not there. But you have to make Taka, they have to bench, they have to have some muzzin, so that's a separate thing. So the kids have to know that afterwards they come. But who says that? I don't know why it's such a big issue. Why should the kids be handcuffed and put on a seatbelt if the meal is for 3 hours and it's boring? So why should they be handcuffed? And it's Taka, we have to make sure that we always come to the table and we have in our mind a Geshmak is the story from Tzadikim, Chassidim. They give out the point of the Parsha or give out the point of the Avodas Hashem that's required this time of the year. And the Geshmak and Nagina Taka, not the type of Nagina that's pirated, but the Nagina, the Taka has a tifa things from Tzadikim, Chassidim, put their neshama into the song. And Taka, and that goes into the neshama of the children. I'll last for them the whole life. They shall help that we should be zoichet to see Hatzlach in Eretz Yisrael and all those are protecting Eretz Yisrael. We should see a full protection, and we should see Yom Shekul Shabbos Menucha L'Chai Elom B'Bias Mashiach.
Amen. Bris Mila, you also have to give money for the mile.
I hear.
Back to
No,
check
because it's true. What you heard what he said? It's true. A lot of moyalim are coming before and after. They're teaching the mami how to clean up the mokum hamila. That's not a part of that. Is that a part from? That's not a part of the meal.
But he does it.
Yeah, but he comes Motzah Shabbos sometimes, and he teaches the mother how to apply cream, how to put the bandage. So that's a separate thing.
Well, if it does something before Shabbos.
What does come before Shabbos?
That's pre before Shabbos.
He does things that are not. Anyway, there's a. Okay. Anyway, there's a mitzvah. You shouldn't be charging for it. So the moilim don't charge. They're charging. They're not charging it. They're giving it to them as a matana.
This mother has
Huh?
This mother, her kids are open. They're just sitting around the house.
No, they're sitting around the house. Yeah, exactly. I think people are. Yeah. What? Yeah.